मैंने मैसेज किया था आपको। हाँ, मैसेज से किया व्हाट्सएप में। So today again, MMPC 011, that is social process and behavioral issues. So today, I will try to finish off the block 4 emerging trends. That's unit number 13, unit 14 and 15. It's organizational inclusiveness, diversity management, and more positive approaches to work behavior. And so now, first, organizational inclusiveness, we have to describe here the interaction part. The positive outcome of workforce diversity is bringing new thinking and ideas, talents, experiences, border, viewpoints in an organizations. So basically here actually we are talking about it is a new concept, and worldwide the workforce diversity now it is very thinking process, new thought process is going on about how to develop the employees, and when the complex nature of different people are from the worldwide, especially for those are international companies. So it is very much needed. To maximize the profit within a global framework, organizations need to become more diversified because there are a lot of joint ventures, lot of mergers, acquisitions, that process is going on. So that's why the diverse work diversity is very important. It helps them to relate with global customers and increase market opportunities. Very much needed. Now, try to clear the diversity. What is that diversity means? The diversity really embraces the respect and the acceptance of each individual's differences. It acknowledges each individual is unique and it can have differences in dimensions of genders, sexual orientation, different orientations, races, ethnicity, social, economic, and demographic status, physical abilities, regional beliefs, and political ideas, and or other ideologies. So now the diversity can be classified as workforce diversity, and behavioral diversity, and cognitive diversity. So there are three categories. It is classified in three ways. So first, workforce diversity. It includes similarities and the differences among people in terms of different culture, background, gender, race, and religions, physical abilities and disabilities, sexual orientation, family status, economic background, status. Then in totality, this workforce diversity are so-called workforce. This is the area basically. Behavioral diversity, it is encompasses of work styles, thinking styles, leadership, learning styles, communication styles, aspirations, beliefs, value system, changes of attitudes, and expectation of the employees. These all are the behavioral diversity categories. So, and cognitive diversity is a focus on diversity of thinking, but basically the research or creative, innovative point of view. So it is represented by 4 dimensions. Another is, first is your perspective, interpretations, heuristics, and predictive models. So cognitive diversity results in high performance while dealing with complex tasks. If this task is very criticality is there, so many criticalities are there, and keeping on the future prospect, so that time that task, when the task is very complex natures, then they have to see how the performance can be better. At global level, business leaders are making great efforts to create an atmosphere where opinions of each employee are and their suggestions are valued and considered. You see, in any organizations where the any frontliners or the workers, there are a lot of opinions, there are a lot of viewpoints are there. That lot of ideas, good ideas are already lying there. But it is a duty to communicate the middle management and top management with the frontliners and take the viewpoints and create that type of creation is required, that information, so that people can communicate each other, they can share their views. So that way, the atmosphere are very much required. And then a lot of suggestion will come up from your discussion only. Now, inclusions. Inclusion is an integral element of the diversity, as inclusion works for the people who are slightly different. Countries which are much diverse will have to struggle for inclusion of everyone. Inclusive organizations recruit and retain diversified workforce and leaders to represent the radicals and the ethnic compositions of the communities they serve. Characteristics of an inclusive organizations. Characteristics of organizations, here actually are talking about the what type of characteristics. It accepts diversity and implementations and implementing the inclusion strategy. Measurable behavior and competencies. Inclusive organizations recruit and retain diversified workforce and leaders to represent the radical and the ethnic compositions of the communities they serve. Transparent policies and procedures. Basically, we are talking about here in respect of the characteristics of the inclusive organization. The type of inclusive organization means all these things should be there. Consistency in practice of interactions with everyone. There should be continuous process and practice of interactions to everyone. It should be a consistency process. Maybe weekly or maybe some of the companies they are in the weekend they are sit together and they have to analyze their everybody's work, how it has happened, why the shortfalls, what are the remedies are there. They have to discuss about these things. Learning culture, that is also important, because without any learning culture, awareness will not be developed, and your the product idea or any idea will not come off. Learning is already a pillar of your culture, because without learning you cannot think about it. Betterment you cannot do it. So learning culture is definitely, it has to be improved, and some of the venture companies, they should have a good library also. There are a lot of latest books should be there. In the free time, the leisure times, or the break time, employee can go there and teach. You can learn the books itself, and they can update it themselves. Moreover, the training program and other programs will be there. From the HR, they should calendar-wise, they have to do it from the HRD calendars. And apart from this, they should have a good library, and the latest books should be there in different fields. So that culture has to be developed. Now, organizational inclusiveness. Characteristics of inclusive organizations and the conflict resolution systems at all levels. It is also very vital, because due to conflicts, sometimes time is also stress. Mentally, people are weak, and another, this productivity will be slowed down. So conflict resolution systems should be there. It should be an inclusive, one of the characteristics for the inclusive organization. Active participation in community activities, because any culture programs, any meetings or anything, their participation, engagement of the employees is very much required. It has to be monitored that they are actively participating or not. And the vision, mission, and core values, definitely the value is to be given. Value of the earned privileges. Change management is another aspect. Change management, where the acceptance and adaptability of these new systems, how fast you can adopt the new systems, and willingly, that type of some wisdom is there. So change management is another of the your inclusive characters. Then benefits of the inclusive organizations. So far we have discussed about the characteristics, what are the things. Now we are talking about the benefits of organizations. If all these things are being a company, if they have implemented all these characters which have now, this previous slides we have discussed, then what are the benefits? So higher job satisfactions. So that means employee will be happy, their job satisfaction will be high. Lower turnover than employee leaving and going, that part will be lower. Higher productivity will be high. And productivity is means in terms of profitability. That's profit will also be in link with the productivity. Higher employee morale, that the morale will be boosted. The employees will be morale will be boosted. They feel proud and this belonging this company, or this I know this much, like this. It's improved creativity and innovations. Those who are in the research R&D, so they have more creativity and innovations, can do it. Improved problem solving. Decision making process will be faster. They can resolve the problems very quickly, and that sort of things. Then increase organizational flexibility. It will increase the flexibility of the company. Then better employees. It will attract the outside employees also. Those who are willing to join, they can have the model of this company. Yes, all these inclusives, they have these organizations. So I should go and join this company, and my future will be right. So that type of image building will be there. So better employees, employees will also do better. Those who are existing employees, they also feel in a better conditions. Now, some definitions are actually the World WHO is that defines some of the things regarding the disability as follows. Because in every country are facing a problems as such, how to put them in a mainstream. Those who are in disabilities, so they should put in a mainstream, and they can also contribute the individual particular nations wide work, that project work, they can also contribute. So disabilities are an umbrella terms that is covering the impediments, activity limitations, and participation restrictions. Because as you know, they have some limitations because they cannot do faster as other employees, maybe because of this body structure or some of the inabilities conditions, which are not permitting them to allow to do that type of jobs. So that things are there. Thus, the disability is a complex phenomenon, reflecting and interacting between the features of a person's body and features of the society in which he or she lives. So this is one of the challenge, I can say. But WHO given some of the norms and some of the definitions they have given. Issues and challenges. Because what are the issues and what are the challenges in regards to disabilities that we have to see? Persons with disabilities have risks of being passed over in the competitions for jobs and avenues for livelihood. So that is one of the risk part. Secondly, there are several steps of challenges which hamper the rights of the disabled to have access to meaningful employment, of which some of the measures are. So that is inadequate access of education and training. They are not getting that much of training. Basically, education somehow they are getting from the distance learning course or some of the remote end as it is online, but especially the training, physical trainings, and to go their field trainings, they are that is not possible for them. Social and psychological barriers are also there. There are a lot of barriers are also in our societies. So that is also there. Discrimination in hiring and promotions by the employees, because at the time of hiring or giving the promotion in particular positions, so that time some discriminations are there, some limitations. If they are management not willing to put that type of disabled persons for critical works, because there are question of the performance, so definitely it will hamper. So this is also one of the challenges and issues. Then another thing, inadequate accessibility to workplace, because particular in the field or maybe in the tour or to visit, to reach there, that remote areas or somewhere. So that accessibility sometimes we may not get it. So other barriers faced by the disabilities are job seekers. That is also one of the things. Then physical and communication barriers include, that is also there. Historical barriers can include. Then attitudinal behaviors in the employees can include. There are so many issues are there that which are to matter to be looked up. Then attitudes, some stereotypes, workplace policies and procedures, education and training. This is basically the area defining where the challenges are there. I mean, the issues and challenges are there. That all these areas. Additional barriers from the disabled applicants can include, again, it is inclusive practices, inclusive policies, inclusive environment, and inclusive infrastructures. So this is all are the issues and challenges in regards to your disabilities. Now, coming to gender diversity, this is another big issues, and it is again the society worldwide. There's some of the communities, the special type of communities are there. They are also to be part of the mainstreams. How they can part of this? So, a lot of policies and guidelines are there. Gender diversity is the organizational perspective. It's not only limited to equal treatment and acknowledgement of both males and females workforces at workplace, but it also include transgenders, LGBT, sexual minorities. So all are the small communities are there, but it is increasing day by day worldwide. The global economy moves diversity to the top of the agenda. This is also global issues. There is a growing demand for equivalent authority for these workers and other groups like Lebanese, gays, bisexual, and transgenders. So this is challenges basically, or the gender worldwide is going on. So how they can participate and what should the norms and regulations are to be there. Inclusion with a special reference to women. That is, women also, still the survey has seen the women are less than the men. They are in the workforce as a woman. Still it is less because more and more workforce are required. Then it will be the balance will be there. So, and nation growth, basically the women participations, basically the nation development is required because the country, as a country, we have to see all the talent, the workforce are where the workforce is good and there is some equality or all participation are there, then definitely the economic growth will be there. That is the idea. Barriers to inclusions, class ceilings, because a lot of barriers are there that has to be broken up because sometimes it has happened. It is some hidden, it is everything is there, but somehow the women are not promoted and not transferred in particular positions. They are not getting that type of money. Some barriers are there that is actually unseen. It's not written. Nowhere it is written something, but still some barriers there. There is a glass ceiling, you can see that somehow has to broke. It's unbreakable. That glass ceiling is such ceiling, it is unbreakable. It is apparently it is saying everything is okay, but still some barriers appears. Obstacles and the barriers arise due to that obstacles and barriers arise due to prejudice, resistance of the woman's leadership style issues, family demands, pay inequalities, less experience in the workforce, part-time workforce, gender role orientations, sexual harassment, queen bee syndromes, workplace incivility, sticky floor effect. So there's so many barriers are there. Some of the are listed, some of the barriers. Here we can talk some of the things. There's a part-time workforce because most of the women, especially the women, they have to take a long leave for the pregnancy purposes or other way because they have to look after the family also as well as the work also. So that is some dilemma. Some of the lacuna is there because still a lot of facilities are given by the government or the companies. So even though still some of the things are issues are sexual harassment is also there. Even though some law is there and monitoring CCTV cameras and all these multinational companies, they are already taken care all the levels. Timing is also fixed. After the 6 p.m. Cannot be forced to work in the work front. And even though if it is there, then it has a group should be there. Somebody has to take care. If it is in the late sitting, then somebody has to go there with her to reach until the drop in the house. So that type of security is also important. Another thing is the queen bee syndrome. That is a very issues because it is true. It has been seen and it has been observed also. Sometimes the women are not willing to, but willing. I mean the enemy. Sometimes the women are enemy for these things. It has happened sometimes. So women are not reluctant to give the promotions and the increment. They are not, even though that talent is there, that he is capable of doing this. So it has some places are it has happened. And overcoming the barriers. Now, question is how to overcome these barriers. So because the issues are there, but you have to see the remedies also. Professional networking. So we should have a professional networking and guidance of monitor or sponsors, self-promotions, helping dropouts women. Some of the women, they are due to some reasons, personal reasons or something, home front, they are continue their work, continue in the office. So they can drop out. Maybe after 3 years, again, they can rejoin in the company. So this time they are feeling disturbed, and so that motivation is required. Somebody has to look after some sponsorings, or maybe some assignment can give it to the home so that they can continue their work and they feel good. Maybe sometimes the good talented women workers are due to some personal reasons, due to some family reasons, they can continue the works. So that situations, that is helping dropout student women. So some sort of some program should be there from the company side. They should look after the things. When the things will be favorable situations, then again they can rejoin in the company. But during that period, somehow they have to engage through this remotely, that part to be seen. So this is the way you can see the overcoming the barriers, some of the things. Women's empowerment, that is also very important, because this is so that what are the barriers can be nullified, can be minimized at least. So inclusive organizations focus on attracting, evolving, and advancing women and underrepresented populations by removing obstructions, gaining stockholders, by creating the inclusive leaders and developing events for growth. So this is the way we can empower the women so that they can also do as per their capacity. By empowering women, they are expanding opportunities for women within organizations for their growth. So here all these things are talking because you see, man part is okay, whatever that. But when this area, whether we can say this area are looking after, then they can give a more product. They can give a more productions. Means they will be more productive, and in turn the company will be benefited. So again, it is a chain system. Your profit margin will be high. Your revenue will be high. So this program is very much needed. Now coming to your transgender and the LGBT, this is all your Lebanese gay and bisexuals and transgenders group. So in short, they are LGBT, the people such as the workforce inclusion is now increasing daily. Other countries, it is almost increasing. In our India also, it is now increasing. And some provisions is also there by the government as a quota. They can also apply, company has to give us a job for that. So creation of EAG employee affinity groups are there, and diversity initiatives for LGBT community are being addressed in organizations more often now than ever before. Earlier it was not there very much, and now the demand is coming, and a lot of proposals are also coming. They should come in the front line. They are also a part of the human, from the human ground, so they can. Even a lot of talent is also there. A lot of ideas, lot of talent. They are capable as good as the. So that diversity basically it is all required. I mean, when you are in the social systems, we cannot avoid all these things. Everybody are equal. From this point of view, we have to consider it. A lack of LGBT supportiveness instead reduces the size of the talent pool available for recruiting. That's why I am saying this here. The recruiting and the talent pool availability are to be increased. And now, because we are not supportiveness LGBT group, they are not supported by the so far. That's why you are reducing the size of the talent pool are also to be restricted. So while the major challenges to be studied for the LGBT movement, it includes the lack of an umbrella organization, lack of your understanding within the LGBT community, and a lack of unity due in part because of class differences. So now I have to move for management, diversity management. In the diversity management, refers to organizational actions that aim to promote greater inclusions of the employees from different background into an organization structure. So when you are as a part of HRM, when you are structuring the things based on the strategy or the objectives on the planning time, so we have to have a see how to promote the inclusions of the employees. That is, and it should be a different background also, because lot of advantages are there. When you are in a different diversity people, different background people are there, then when they are working in together, so it has been proved that it is a better, because the better performance are coming out, and they are very cohesiveness, and there are no politics, no political issues are there, no diplomacy will be reduced because different culture, different things. And moreover, it has seen the talent is also exploring of the different talents are possibility are there. So that's why the organizational structures, it is to see that the organizations are inclusive nature type of organizations or not. So diversity at workplace can ensure advantageous environment at work with the benefit of innovations, improved morale, teamwork, harmony among the workers. So here, that type of environment advantages are coming up. It will be ensuring so that through this way. So that is basically the diversity management. So we have to manage all the things that things are that inclusion that there are not, that have to maintain. Now benefits from the diversity. So if we maintain these things, so what will be the benefit from the diversity? The diversity in the workplace brings many benefits to company as a whole. It is known to create competitive advantage for the businesses, meaning it allows them to different themselves from their competitors. Fresh opinions, enhanced company culture, company efficiency, employee innovations, all these aspects will be better. Here actually competitive advantage, basically I would like to emphasize on this competitive advantage, is basically other same nature of product when the other company has all same thing, you have to see as a particular your organizations, your manpowers are enough to compete in the market, and they are far away from the other employees of the companies because their knowledge wise, their skill wise, their attitude wise, their behavioral, everything are should be unique and better than other companies, so that it should be always in number one. Your company should feel my company is number one from the or my skill wise, knowledge wise, technology wise, other than so the employee, basically the employee. Competitive advantage means basically you have to develop your employee, your manpower in such a way so that it can differentiate themselves from the other competitors. And other competitors can see, they can see how this company, particularly, they are so much advantage and so much advance they have got. So they cannot catch up the things. So always the competitive nature should be there, and that you have to take it. If we do all these things that your diversity management, inclusiveness, all these things, what we are talking, that discussing all these things, if particular one of the companies having all these things, definitely it will be a good company. It will be company culture will be enhanced, your company efficiency will be enhanced, employee innovation will be there. They can jointly they can work togetherness. So problem will be solved. And they consider all these things which you have discussed earlier slides. Now, level of the diversity, the surface level diversity, then deep level diversity. Surface level diversity means you can see that just age, color, sex, genders. So it's sort of features are there. These are which are the things are observables. So this is what we call this surface level diversity. There are some few examples which are given. Now the deep level diversity, where no observation qualities are there. You can see not apparent features are included in the deep level diversities. Now, what is discrimination? That is also one of the part of your diversity management. It is workplace discriminations. Discriminations in the workplace is based on certain prejudice and occurs when an employee is treated unfavorably because of the gender, sexuality, race, religion, pregnancy, and maternity or disability. These all the terms are already aware of all these things terms. So based on these, the discrimination will come out. So it is true features because it's unavoidable sometimes. So that has to be seen how we can compromise the things for the integrity, how to integrate all these things. So knowing a difference that one employee is more qualified than another helps in making hiring decisions. So sometimes it has happened, we know that particular employee is knowing and he is qualified. So even though they are not, you cannot hiring that person. So that decisions are not taken care. So to knowing differences that one employee is more qualified than another employee helps in making hiring decision. So during the decision making process, especially in the recruitment time, you have to take care so that you can avoid the discrimination in the after that, after post joining or post things. So discrimination can take place, can take many steps, and its effect can be varied as organizational context and personal biases of its members. So try to reduce the workplace discriminations as much as possible so that harmony and the humanity, equality, our employees can enjoy the environment. That type of a good cultural company can be developed. So that is the idea is, so you should know, identify which are the areas discrimination is there. more prone to discrimination areas. So we have to sort out the things and do as much as the better. Various reasons behind rise of the diversity. There are so many reasons up there because why this diversity part is important, because of the globalizations. Because the globalizations, people are, companies are business in the other companies, other countries, export, import, both the way, and people are posting in the other countries also. They have to adopt their cultures, their rule and regulations, this country's rule and regulations. So host country and subsidiaries. So a lot of things are there. Migration is another important other aspect because of that, because the different people are migrated from different states, different countries, and they are worked together, that their cultural differences, their food differences, their attitudes. There are so many things at place. So there we have to see how. That's why the diversity management is coming up, because you have to see all these things. Women workers number of it is increasing now. When the women workers is increasing, so you have to, your structure has to be changed, your office complex has to be changed. You have to see the security point of view. There are a lot of aspects are coming one by one. So it is also a part of your diversity management. So because these reasons, you have to work for these things. Aging populations, that is another issue socially in the company itself. When the company is growing, when the company is very long time, maybe 30 years, 40 years, so definitely there will be old workers will be there, old employees will be there, and young generation, young people are also joining. So that type of discrepancies are there. Then you have to cope up the situations, how to manage the things, that aging populations. So that's why the diversity managements are coming in picture. Political diversity is also the issues are there. Unions and management and union relationship, your industrial relationships has to be seen. Should be in a very win-win situation. There should not be any conflict to reduce the conflict. All this part are there. Implementing diversity management strategies. There is also important part. You are attracting the diverse employees. Selections is also important. Career development and retaining employees. The implementing the diversity management strategies, because strategy should be like this, so that all these areas are to be taken care. That is the strategy part. Attracting the diverse employees. Selections, so that we can reduce a lot of discriminations which we have earlier discussions. Career development, all the employees should know, they should aware after that which position I have, my benefits, my careers, my pensions, where do I go, up to which level I can go with. That career development program should be clear and it should be transparent. Promotion policies, everything. Retaining the employees, because it's really to careful that when you are trained the people, when you are expert of these particular areas, so after 1 year, 2 years, if you leave this company, you leave this company and join to the other company, then it is a revenue loss. And you are losing some of the, not only the one employee, you are losing a lot of talent, lot of experience you are losing. So you have to, that type of diversity in the management, that strategy should be there. How to retain these employees, so that you have to motivate them through these incentives or promotions or some of the good behavior or atmosphere, cultural atmosphere. So there are so many ways are there. You can satisfy the particular employees that retaining the, so that if the employees are retaining there, then definitely his productivity will be increased. It has happened slowly when the experience will be there, knowledge is there, so their work will be good. and they can train to the others also. One way, if the retaining employees means his knowledge, his productivity, his activity is there. At the same time, he can develop another 10 employees also. That capacity they have. So that is another advantage for retaining the employees. New persons cannot train to others because he has to learn. It will take time, 3 to 4 years, 5 years time to take to develop himself to par it come. Then only he can. So that's why the retaining the employees is very important. Is another aspect is this. Now, positive approaches to work behavior. So here, the main things, some of the, I can say, psychology, emotions, and your good behaviors, and your spirituality, all are coming in this part. Because if you have a good person's, good spiritually person's, good behavior, intelligent, then you can survive, or you can maintain the things, and your optimization will do more. So there are different positive approaches to work behavior, such as spiritual intelligence, emotional intelligence. So these all are different approaches nowadays. So optimism is considered as a key component of the modern positive psychology. So it's a modern psychology is saying these are one of the component. So optimism is defined as the power of positive thinking in general. So that's why it is an underquote, that power of positive thinking. So we have to always think the positive thing, that impulses and that waves should be propagated to the others employees also, so that they can also start feeling some positive thinking process. So in the workplace, optimism, how should we work? Optimism is a positive force with attitudes of high moral and aspirations in workplace, and act as motivator to work harder and reaching goals. So, in the first sentences, it is there basically attributes. Which are the things is to be attributes is high moral and aspirations in the workplace. That is the point to be noted. These things. Optimism is both motivated and motivating also. You have to motivate to others, and also you are continue to motivating to others also, as the desirable characteristics of achievement, health, and perseverance makes external, unstable, and specific attributes of personal bad events, and is linked with positive outcomes such as occupational success. So optimism is a very positive force in our workplace. So the employees should have a good, basically good attitudes, good behavior, and he can able to motivate himself, and he can motivate to others also. That things are make a stable conditions. Then application examples. There are so many there's half full or half empty. Then a glass of water. Suppose a glass of water is there. Some people say it is a half full water is there. Some of the people say half empty is there. So different attitudes, different positive, negativity, or positivity will be there. People can, their perceptions, what the way he is explaining the things. So that is one of the example. Then so many things are there, are models are there. There's happiness and well-being, benefits of happiness and well-being, like this. So happiness object is nowadays the happiness classes are going on. happiness situation there in the cultural, in the office also there is some small, within the department, some small room is there. They can, employee can go there, they can share their happiness. So that way atmosphere can be created. So happiness is the overall feelings of well-being that one must cultivate to maintain. So happiness is very, very important as a human, as a work front, as individually, you will be better. Generally, the words happiness and well-being interchangeably, because the notion of subject well-being, the SWB, subject well-being, is used in research literature as a substitute for the term happiness. So, means well-being and happiness are complementary each other. Basically, the almost the same meanings are coming up. The number of theories say that it is impossible. Sometimes it is impossible to permanently change sometimes the level of happiness, because happiness it cannot static things. It's all in the dynamic, in the mind changing situation are influencing the different situations influence you. So happiness, you cannot continue to maintain your happiness because of the challenges. Lot of challenges are there. It is the art of life to keep happy, keep peace always, because it is take time to, as a human being, you have to practice it. A lot of practice are there, how to cool, how to happy all the situations. So that's why it is sometimes we say it's impossible, because temporarily you can that situation can influence you very much. Then after that you can survive. But human can be, it is possible also other way, because in any situations survival is inborn, inbuilt. That type of software or hardware is God has given in any human. Any situation, initially they can reluctant or may not be possible. It seems to be not possible, but you can do it. So that is the unique of the human life. Zero-sum theory suggests that the happiness is cyclical, and that happy and unhappy periods follow each other. There is also some of the theories are saying happy, unhappy, it is some kind of cycling is going on. Cycling is how long it is continue, how much the rate of cycling is depends, because suppose throughout the day, how many times you are happy and how many times you are unhappy, that you cannot calculate in that way. Means it is measurable, but it is take time, because who can judge it? You have to judge your how much you are unhappy, how much you are unhappy. Yes, the degree of density of happiness also a factor. So it is a long researchers still going on. A lot of things are going on to identify this happiness measurement. Then positive approaches are there. There are sort of thinking is that there are intelligence, IQ and EQ, and SQ. There are so many derived SQ, spiritual intelligence, and IQ is your intelligence things, and how to equate these things. Serial thinking is done across the neutral tracks measured by IQ. Is about logical and rational thought process. Then associative thinkings is done across the network and underlines EQ. It helps the mental associations or your connections, because your EQ and IQ, both the things are required in the organizations itself. So unitative thinking, when you are in the creative or intuitive, then insightful, and comes from this much deeper, so within our personal centers. So this is the way that some of the features are there are from the work behavior conditions. The neural basis for spiritual intelligence, just for theories oscillations propagate across the whole brain. It is some of the systems are there it has proven there's some oscillation, some propagate it is there and synchronously, and see then brain mapping how much the intelligence is there. It can be linking the part brain functions from both hemispheres into there's some sort of process of this. This that way you can measure the intelligence, spiritual intelligence in the brain itself. So SQ, there is a spiritual quantity on a brain circuitry is there. So recent findings in these things are neuroscience confirm that spiritual intelligence is this thing, and some sort of actual random movements are there. Emotional intelligence is a summarize. It is summative abilities basically, and so there are basically these all are process to identify how much the EQ and IQ. There are three main emotional intelligence models, which are basically the emotional intelligence, model-based object, emotional model-based on ability, and emotional models based on ability, then your emotional intelligence models are there, and emotional intelligence from the mixed models. So many things are. Here actually there are some positive approaches work with the behavior self, and from the diagram you can see there are some self-awareness. Then you see the rotate, how it is rotating, self-awareness, then social awareness, then your relationship management and self-management. So first things is awareness, and so awareness is here. Then there is emotional self-awareness, accurate self-awareness, then finally your social awareness. Social awareness here actually is the empathy. You have the sympathy, empathy. Empathy is extra care. You have to see not only last mile facilities, last mile connections. You have to see after effect also, means the things are really has done or not. Till the end, you have to continue persuasions that they are communicating here. So empathy is some sort of extra, out of the box, you have to do it. Sympathy is something, okay, you can help the people, you can give a books, or you can donate something, or you're consoling the temporarily, okay, but empathy is little different. You have to go away from the, beyond these things, what you are doing, these things. So this is also important. Relationship management is also an important part. So this is the way I think things are there. So now you see we have, I think almost we have covered up. So now you see the block 4 we have covered up. Total there are 4 in this MMPC 11. That is this course. There are 4 block was there. First block, introduction of the organizations that we have already discussed. Then your interpersonal process. Second block that also you have clear. Then interpersonal and the group processes that also you have discussed, and finally the emerging trends which you have, it's all are emerging trends that also you have triggers. Now the you can see the question pattern. Normally I can this a little bit I can discuss about this. The MMPC as per the IGNO, there will be 2 sections. So section A would be there will be 5 questions, and it will be covered all the blocks. You will get every block 1 question definitely will be there, and then 3 questions you have to answer it. There are 20 into 3. There are 60 marks for the particular section A, and section B is case study. There will be 40 marks, and some paragraph will be given. It's a training, some story will be there, and there you have to answer it. 2 questions, so 2 or 3 questions you have to answer it. there are 40 marks. So 60 plus 40 are distributed in this way. So one case study will be there, and then 3 questions are taught questions will be there. Limitation. So 3 hours paper normally this happen. So case study you have to do it, and case study, during the case study you have to select particular block wise. The themes, theory should be there, and go through this. So during case study, you have to see first the answers. You have to see the answer, see the questions, what the paragraph questions are. Then you start reading the paragraphs. It will be very easy, because once you know the questions, then you can identify the answer where it is located in the paragraphs. So then immediately you can underline the things, then you can correlate the things. So if you start first reading the paragraphs, you don't know what are the questions. So again, you have to redo the things, all these things. So better you have to go through the question, you see the paragraph questions, what the case study questions is there, then you start reading then you can have a good idea, you can identify the things where the answer should be there. So this is the way I can say to thank you all to listening this blog. All these 4 or 5 blogs which are there, videos, you can download it, and you can observe the things, you can listen to things, and I hope that MMPC things, if you read out or if you listen to all these videos, then definitely you will be understandable the chapters, I mean the total subject. So thank you very much. And now all the blocks are finished now. So thank you very much.